You're listening to Viking Radio, coming to you from Dream Street Studios at Del Mar College. Now your host, Dr. Natalie Chapa.
So good morning, Corpus Christi. You're listening to Retro Radio, and this is Dr. Natalie Chapa. I'm your host today with the wonderful Mike Maverick Bratton.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that. Good morning, boss. How are you doing?
Come on, Mav.
I have to keep telling people, guys, I am not Tom Cruise.
If you're at the Lexington and you think you see Tom Cruise, you're close.
This is all an internal joke, folks.
It's Mike Bratton, everybody. Calm down. But so, Mike, we have got some amazing people in the audience today, which is not an audience, it's a studio. So thanks, Rob, for checking that off. So we've got some amazing folks here from Del Mar College in the studio with us today. And we're going to be talking all about the Mexican American Studies program and seminar here at Del Mar College, and also talking about TACHE, which for those of you out there unfamiliar with that is the Texas Association of Chicanos in Higher Education, which is a legacy here in the state of Texas. And so I'd like to welcome our guests. First, we have Dr. Isabel Araiza.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Good morning, Dr. Araiza. Thank you so much for joining us. So Dr. Araiza is joining us here at Del Mar College. She is actually one of our professors of social work and sociology, and also coordinator of the Mexican American Studies program. So thank you for being here, Dr. Araiza.
It's my pleasure.
Snap, snap, snaps. But then we also have joining us is Miss Monica Lozano, who is the president of TACHE.
Yes.
Yes. Yay.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for joining Mike and I today. As you can tell, we like to kick off the morning with some silly jokes and banter, but we also just love to talk about all the amazing work that's happening at Del Mar College.
Yes.
And so I want to talk to the audience about, first of all, this summer seminar that happens every summer. And it has become a staple here for Del Mar College, but not just for the college, for the community all around.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Araiza, do you want to tell us a little bit about this?
Sure. So this is going to be the 12th annual summer seminar. And what we've decided to do is hold it on the last Saturday of the month of July.
Mm-hmm.
And so the goal is to have people already think about, like, that's our
Yes.
Saturday, just save it, because it's an event that's worth attending. It's a nice combination of academics, community members, students coming together to talk about topics related to the Mexican American experience, art, culture, government, right, literature, all of it, music. So we have a little bit of everything there.
And I think what I love about it is that because the Mexican culture, American culture, we're so steeped in South Texas,
Mm-hmm.
right? Part of our
Yes.
history, the physical boundaries, the culture with the ethnicity, that it's fun for everybody. It's not just for somebody of Mexican American descent.
Mm-hmm.
If you've grown up in South Texas, right, this is part of your culture too, no matter your
Right.
ethnicity.
Yes.
And so it's always fun to learn about.
Yes, yeah, and they're really, and I mean, I think, we think about and take for granted Hispanic Heritage Month, that opportunity that, highlights contributions of people from Hispanic backgrounds, but that's a big umbrella.
That is so broad.
Mhm.
I mean, that's pretty much anybody in the world, right, that speaks, that is Spanish speaking.
Mhm,
Right? So
yeah.
you could be European, you could be South American, you could be
Right.
South Texan.
Right. And
Yeah.
and so, like, our culture is really unique, our history is unique, and one of the things that I love about the summer seminar is that we center the Mexican American experience, and we're trying to have more attention to the Mexican American experience in the Coastal Bend. Because a lot of times we don't think of ourselves and, like, our practices as being worthy of inquiry and reflection, and I think it needs to be. I think we can appreciate our history, our resilience, and others can too. And we don't really have that opportunity. Even when you're studying special topics
Yeah.
in class, if you're doing a government class, they might have a chapter on Hispanics, and so it's very rare that people actually get to center our people and learn about it. And this is a day when they can have a taste of all the different disciplines and what people from the community have contributed, and just, kind of whet that appetite for like further exploration.
And if I can interject,
Yeah.
what I love, what I've seen in the past is the age ranges. It is open to everyone. And you'll see sometimes families, mother, grandmother, and a child. And I just think that's awesome.
Yeah, we're trying really hard to make sure that we have things that are appealing to a diverse age range. Yeah, because right. We like multi-generational, right, family-centered. It being family-friendly, I think, is really important.
And we are the community college in Corpus Christi, right? So we serve our community, and we're unique because of who our community is. And Isabel, you said something that just kind of stuck with me. For us, when the way you grow up, right, the things in your grandmother's home and your abuela's house, or the food that you eat, or the things that you say, sometimes they just are. They're not special. You don't think that they should be studied because you don't think to study. This is just my
Like
everyday
regular
life.
people, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
It's
regular people.
doing stuff.
But we really are a niche, and it's very special. And so I grew up in Orange Grove.
Okay.
Class of 95, go Bulldogs. And, but what I have found is, because that is such a mix of the German immigrants and the Mexican immigrants, it's such an interesting mix of people. But a lot of what we do is the same. Like the way we think about family, the way we have weddings and celebrate family. A lot of my, German American friends, it was very similar. And so it was very easy to tie together, even though sometimes that ugly racism word gets in there, and, it is what it is, the reality of living in small towns. But there is a lot of similarity in background that is special.
Yeah.
So you are a sociology professor here.
Yes.
But you didn't start here at Del Mar College. You have taught at other places.
Correct.
Okay, talk to the audience out there and tell us a little bit about Dr. Isabel Araiza and your experience out there in higher education.
So just real quick, I do want to say that I was born and raised here in Corpus Christi, and I am a graduate of Del Mar College, class of 94. Thank you.
Go Vikings.
All right.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to Carroll High School.
Carroll High School.
Yes.
Okay, she's a Carroll Tiger.
Yes.
Then a Del Mar Viking.
Yes.
Okay, so
And-
far so good.
And so I graduated from A&M Corpus and went off to graduate school at Boston College, earned my PhD. And I had the good fortune of being able to come back home, and I taught at A&M Corpus Christi for 20 years.
Okay.
And so that was an experience.
And was that also sociology?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So your doctoral degree is a sociology degree. What
Yes.
did you study?
Well, when I was an undergraduate here, I earned my associate's degree in English.
Okay.
And then when I was at A&M Corpus, I double majored. I was English and political science.
Okay, nerd alert. Right. Yeah.
Yes.
We like nerds, but we also like to acknowledge for our audience that we nerd out sometimes here at Del Mar College.
Yeah. So, and I just found sociology by accident. That discipline gave me a vocabulary for understanding what I was seeing, and a way to analyze things that I think I had always been looking for, but I didn't. I guess, when you have language to help you understand and explain, it just opens up the world to you. And so super grateful for that. Yes, I was taught at A&M Corpus for a long time. And honestly, I don't think I would be who I am today if it wasn't for Del Mar. I'm a first-generation college student. And when I went to grad school, I really had a hard time making that transition. I was one of 6 people admitted into a PhD program.
Wow.
So it was
Wow.
like super competitive, yeah. And I was like, what am I doing here? And I was like, there was one of 2 brown people or Mexican Americans that were in the graduate programs. We had a mixer, and everybody presumed that I would know the other Mexican.
You know.
Yeah. Do you know her? I was like, do you know how big Texas is? And so, I really struggled. And I remember I wrote my first paper and cried when I was in grad school. And my professor actually said it was one of the best papers that she had ever read. And I really owe it to Miss Norma Ayala Maynard from our English program here,
Yeah.
because she taught me how to write and how to develop a sound argument. And so I think and I was a single mom, and the faculty here were super supportive of me. And so when an opportunity came to be able to come back to Del Mar, it was a dream of mine. Had I known a position had opened up earlier, I would have come earlier. I just, again, I was new to academia, and so I didn't really know how it worked. But when somebody had let me know that a person was going to be retiring and a space was going to be opening up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so there. Because I've been with Moss in the Moss Summer Seminar since it started. And I would be like, this place just loves people, and they love doing things for the community.
Yes.
And I want that,
Yes.
That gives me the chills.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And I want to just echo what you're saying, Dr. Isabel. The Mexican American Studies Summer Seminar is open to the community. Come one, come all. Is there an entry and a fee to come?
No, it's actually free and open to the public. Registration starts at 8:30 in the morning, and you just have to show up. We sign up because we want to see how many people are actually coming to the program. We also started a listserv this year so that I could send out from last year's attendance. I created a listserv so that I could send out a save the date. And so we will take people's information so that we can share when events are happening on campus, not just a summer seminar, but throughout the year. And so it's free and open to the public. We get started at 9, but registration begins at 8:30. The doors open at 8:30.
And what's the date?
July 25th.
July 25th.
From 8:30 to 3:15. It's free. We're going to have a light breakfast provided for people. I can tell you more about this schedule a little bit later. We also are offering a free sack lunch. And then at the end, 3:15, we're going to do a wrap-up about what people would like to see for the next seminar in the year to come. And then we're going to have a raffle. So
Nice.
Love
excited.
that. Now, sometimes coming onto a college campus can be really intimidating for the general public. Just if you haven't been on campus, and our signage isn't always the best here at Del Mar College. So if somebody wants to come and they're like, yes, they see the flyer, they remember the date. We're here on Heritage Campus at 101 Baldwin. Where do they come?
So it's actually going to be in the Kohl's building, and we are planning on having signage out a little bit more than we did last year.
Okay.
And it'll be the first floor, and we've got these big posters that we put up on the walls so that everybody will know which rooms to go to.
Okay.
And it worked out really well this last go around.
Okay.
And I do want to say that TACHE, Texas Association of Chicanos for Higher Education, has agreed to table at our event. So they're also going to be there. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is the Kohl's building?
Yes.
Heritage Campus, 101 Baldwin Boulevard.
First floor.
First floor.
So when they
floor.
come in, there'll be people there to greet them and direct them, and they'll see signs on the walls about which rooms to go into. So
If you're out in the community and you haven't been, think about going. This is such a great experience here in the Coastal Bend. And Monica, you were talking about, it's great. You've got generational families coming. So you've got the grandkids, mom, dad, the grandparents. It's always good to find that fun that the whole family can enjoy,
Absolutely.
and you learn something.
Because sometimes there are hands-on activities. Every year it's different. She brings in people for lectures, for demonstrations. So it's a great experience for the whole family. It doesn't matter the age. It doesn't matter your race. It's open to everyone, and that's what I love is the community coming together.
And again, that's our mission. We'll be right back.
Este es el lugar donde quieres estar. Aquí se sueña, aquí se crece, para graduarte y destacar. Este es el campus Oso Creek de Del Mar College. Aquí encontrarás asignaturas básicas y programas exclusivos, además de laboratorios e instalaciones avanzadas. Es un espacio de innovación, transformación y acompañamiento. Este es tu momento, tu futuro. Aquí es donde perteneces. Aprende más en dmcdreams.com.
This show is a production of Del Mar College, where continuing education courses can get you in the workforce fast, including Workforce Skills Awards that are stackable towards Del Mar College credit programs. Own your dreams at Del Mar College. Go online at delmar.edu/CE. This is Viking Radio.
Those of you just joining us out there, we're here with Del Mar College faculty, Dr. Isabel Araiza, our professor of sociology, and Miss Monica Lozano joining us here in the studio today. And we're talking about the Mexican American Studies program, but also the special event that happens every summer here on campus, which is the Mexican American Studies Summer Seminar, which is happening again July 25th. Okay. From 9 to 3:15. I also think it's great that you do a debrief at the end. Like, what do you want to see next year? Because it's fresh on people's minds. Like, like we could do this next year. What if y'all brought this? So that's a really great idea. I hadn't seen that before. So I really appreciate that. So we brought up DACHE, which is, again, the Texas Association for Chicanos in Higher Education.
Yes.
And so, Monica, talk to the audience about that. Talk about where does DACHE come from and what does that pertain to here at Del Mar College?
Like you mentioned earlier, it is a legacy of Del Mar College. They've been around for a couple of decades now.
Okay.
And what I love about it is that, yes, with the name, there is a huge membership of Hispanic Americans, Mexican Americans. But it's not only for them. We are a huge family. We have staff and faculty that are members. We have a couple of community members. It doesn't matter your race. Our point is to, number one, be a family. Number two, support one another. We're here to help and encourage one another. The focus is somewhat on the Mexican Americans because, like you said earlier, sometimes there is some negativity out there in the world, and we're just trying to be a family to help and support one another. We would like to encourage our community to continue in their education, learn more about your heritage, be proud of your heritage.
And this is such a great example of the mission of the community college. We were talking about that earlier, in that every community college is different because every community is different. And so our mission, right, is to meet the needs of the Corpus Christi area and the 4.5 counties that we serve. So yes, that's part of our culture. That's part of the heritage here in South Texas. And so there are a lot of times we don't get to learn about that. There's so many things that I've learned here by going to the MOS seminar that I never knew, about, my own culture. And so it's never too late to learn.
So I did want to talk a little bit about some of our speakers.
That'd be
that
great.
We have,
Yeah, who's coming?
That we have planned. So the way that it's going to be organized is the first half hour is a kind of registration time. We have a local artist, Andrea Salinas, who did this really beautiful piece called Where the Virgen de Guadalupe Meets the Statue of Liberty. And so she kind of combines these two different, or not these two cultures, and like in visual rhetoric. And so she's going to be our artist that's going to talk about, she wrote this poem, and she's going to present it, and she took video of her whole artistic process. And so she's got this gown that's amalgamation of the two cultures that we'll be also presenting. So we'll have her, she's local. She's actually from Toloso Midway. The work's beautiful.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Yes.
And then we have our keynote is a woman named Jenna Hassel. She is born and raised here in Corpus Christi. Her mother was a teacher at West Oso High School.
Okay.
She went to UT and got a degree in engineering, but basically started the first public food forest in the state of Texas in Austin. They started an organization called Tierra Sagrada that works on cultivating public spaces and residential spaces so that they are embracing native species.
Different plants and species.
Yeah, and designing public spaces so that they're using less water and just relying on the natural flow.
So she started that in Austin.
In Austin. And it was the first public food forest And so they grow all kinds of things. We went to go see their park last summer. And so
Where is that located in Austin? I used to live there for years. I go all the time, but I didn't
there's
even
a
know that
freeway.
existed.
I'm so bad at location. It's called.
You got to be more specific than that.
Well, not really. In Austin, there's 35. We're right down the middle.
There's a freeway, and then the river is like right next to
Okay.
it. And
I wonder if it's right there in East Austin.
it's like 10 acres.
Okay. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, it's really lovely. They've got figs and loquats, and they use 3 pecan trees as kind of their starting space, and then they moved outward, and they've got the 3 sisters, and they're embracing like traditional like cultivation practices. It's open. So, there are community gardens where there's a gate that you have to go through, and there's actually a community garden that's next door, and they've even got people from UT monitoring the water usage that they're using from the public resources. They're documenting the amount of animals that are coming through, and so we've actually had them look at one of the parks that I'm a member of a group that's adopted a public park, and is trying to do that same thing. And so she's helped us with our park. That's how I met her. And when we did the tour, and she was talking about, I didn't know she was local. 2, the way that she was talking about it, I was like, oh my gosh, we need to have her for the Moz experience, because she's from the community,
Yeah.
right? Her family's from the community. She's been doing this stuff, and it embraces traditional cultural practices. So I'm super excited about her. We're gonna have also mariachi music as people like
Gotta
get their
love
food.
mariachi. Yes, I never say no to mariachi music.
Yeah, so and then we're gonna have Jennifer Jimenez from our library and
Yes,
the
love
downtown
Jen.
public library.
Okay.
Talking about what we have here with that's in the Mexican American studies genre. But also she's partnering with Shelby, I forgot, Anderson. Shelby from the downtown public library, and they're going to be talking about genealogy stuff. So they're going to be doing like a little training
Oh,
session
my
on that.
favorite.
So-
Okay, I should not be in that because I get so obsessed. I'm so obsessed with genealogy. And so I just want to add, this is the middle of July, and it's all going to be inside.
Yes.
So because we hit that point where it's like, you want to go to the beach, you want to do something fun, you've already been to the aquarium, you've been to the Lexington, and it's super hot, but you want to do something fun with the kids, this is a great opportunity to do that. I can't wait to do that. I am going to try to bring my mom this year.
wonderful.
We'll see if Minnie Chapa's up for a little
All right.
big city excursion in Corpus Christi, and we'll bring her in. And so I want to touch a little bit back about Tache. So you had mentioned that there are there's community members
Yes.
along with the college campus membership. If somebody wants to join, if somebody's interested, how do they get in contact with you?
So we are actually on the Del Mar website,
Okay.
www.delmar.edu. On the top right-hand corner, there's a search bar, and you can just put Tache, Tache, and our page will come up with all of our information. There's a link to join in. We are also open to the students of Del Mar. The 25-26 school year was our
Okay.
first year that we had initiated a student chapter.
Okay.
So I'm really proud about that. That was one of my goals when I became president. So all the information is there. We were a little, how can you say, we kind of pulled back just a little bit. Unfortunately, with my job, it was really very demanding, and everybody has projects. There's always something going on at Del Mar. Always something going on.
at
Yeah.
DMC.
But with the Moz program, we're going to kick it off again, and we'll have things going on in the fall for our students as well.
And Tache does things like annually you make breakfast at the Ronald McDonald House, right?
Oh, yes. We do a lot of outreach. We have done, usually we do that at least twice a year at the Ronald McDonald House. Some of our members go out there and we make breakfast for them. And that is a huge blessing. It's good for us because it's awesome to be able to give back.
That's such
And
a
it's people
blessing.
that we don't know, but they're going through a very hard time. So to be able to provide that for them, that's one less worry they have. We have gone out to the nursing home right across the street.
Yes, Windsor, I believe it's
Yes,
out there. Yeah.
Windsor. And we just did bingo with them. And let me tell you, they are competitive over there.
That's right. That does not go away with age. Competition does not. Yeah.
So just things to help our community, to show them, hey, we're here and we care.
This is a great example, Mike, of the whole Viking Way initiative that we've tried to cultivate across campus, right? This is an example of something that's already happening here at Del Mar. It's that culture of care that we want to give for our employees and our students. Because when you leave your high school and you start college, you gotta find your people. You gotta find your niche of people that you can hang on to and learn from and have fun. So I think for anybody out there listening, if you're a community member or if you're a student or an employee of Del Mar, if this sounds like fun, if this sounds something that you're interested in, please get on the website, look up Monica, Dr. Araiza, take Dr. Araiza's sociology class.
Yes.
I have to tell you, sociology was probably my favorite course. And a lot of people don't really understand what sociology is. So give us just a little commercial on what sociology is.
I didn't even know it existed. I found the discipline by accident after I actually did my undergraduate degree. But it basically it's a social science. And so what we're interested in is the way that groups and structures, social structures, shape people's life chances. So, in the United States, we tend to really focus on individual responsibility and, you exist in this country or in this space and you've got to make good choices and the choices you make will shape ultimately where you wind up. That kind of orientation just takes as a given how social institutions, organizations are organized, and how they're organized and how they're connected shape people's life chances. The social categories that exist in our society shape people's experiences.
All of that shapes you.
Right.
Yes.
And so we always focus on the individual and we're like, well, let's not talk about that other stuff or, focus on what you can do or learning the rules so that you can be successful. But, and I'm not saying that that's not valuable, but it emphasizes the individual as opposed to the structure. And when you learn about the structure, it's like another tool in your toolkit for understanding why things are happening the way that they are.
It's like a different lens,
Yes.
right? Like you're talking about the individuality. There's that lens of the individual, but then there's all these other constructs and structures around you. And that's just the reality, right,
Yes.
of where you are.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really great explanation where psychology more focuses on the theory of the individual, unless you decide to go family systems and
Right.
again, I'm sorry, out there, Coastal Bend, we're nerd alerting.
Nerd alert.
So nerd alert. Mike, you got to just throw a chunkle at us or something to get us out of the nerd alert. But I appreciate that because there's a lot of people out there who, you don't know what's out there, and sociology is one of those things you hear about. And it's so fascinating for me that I encourage anybody who's out there and it sounds interesting, please take a class, get on delmarcollege.edu, look for Dr. Isabel Araiza. She's got some great classes because you'll do some classes in the fall.
Yes.
That you can still sign up for.
Yes.
So ladies, I want to thank you so much for coming in today. This is really important information for our community. And thank you for the time and energy in this because this is above and beyond what you are paid and expected to do. But I don't know, Mike, I think for me, it's just as important, if not even more important, that your work you're doing with the seminar in the summer and with Dacha.
I agree. Yes, I think all cultures are interesting, and the Moss Summer Seminar has become a July tradition here.
Yeah, it's a staple of Del Mar College in the summer. So again, if you're out there, don't forget to come out and visit us here at Del Mar College with the summer seminar. You'll get to meet Dr. Araiza. You'll get to meet Monica and talk about Dacha. We'll have some good food and talk to some amazing artists and amazing people doing wonderful things for everybody in the community. All right, to our Corpus Christi fans out there, hope that you have a great rest of your morning. Enjoy the beautiful day, and we'll talk again tomorrow.
This show is a production of Del Mar College. Follow us on Spotify at Viking Radio.